With their massive bodies and claws as sharp as steel pliers, king crabs aren't just giants of the deep. They dominate a multi-billion-dollar luxury seafood industry. But have you ever wondered how tens of thousands of tons of king crab are caught and processed each year? The epic journey of these armored giants begins over 200 meters deep in icy waters, where they grow up in darkness, crushing pressure and freezing cold. From sea to state-of-the-art processing plants, the king crabs enter a new chapter, where humans and high-tech machines craft a symphony of exquisite cuisine. Today, join Agriculture Insight on an expedition to some of the coldest waters on Earth, as we uncover what makes the king crab the red gold of the global seafood industry. All will be revealed in this video. With a leg span reaching up to 1.8 meters and a body weighing more than 12 kilograms, the king crab is not only worthy of being called the king of the crustacean world, but also a symbol of an entire chain of harsh value. But why do they cost thousands of dollars each? Their high price doesn't come only from the rich, firm meat craved around the world, but also from the dangers involved in harvesting them. Living at depths of 200 to 400 meters, in waters ranging from just -degrees to 4 degrees Celsius around the Bering Sea, Alaska, and the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia, king crabs force fishermen to face brutal natural conditions, making this one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Another core factor behind the king crab's luxury value lies in its reproductive behavior, an extraordinarily rare growth process in the natural world. After migrating from deep waters into shallower areas to reproduce around December to February, male and female king crabs mate immediately after the female molts. Each female carries between 50,000 and 500,000 eggs under her abdomen for nearly a year, yet less than 1% of them survive to adulthood. To reach market size, a king crab must take 5 to 7 years, going through more than 20 molts, each one a gamble for survival at the bottom of the icy sea. It is this complex nature that makes king crabs impossible to farm on a commercial scale, making every bite of meat worth every dollar spent. And in the dead of winter, when thousands of king crabs gather in shallow waters to find mates, humans also head out to sea, not for love, but to hunt. That very mating season becomes the fiercest hunt of all, where man, nature, and courage together create the symbol known as the red gold of the ocean. Before every king crab fishing trip, the very first step, seemingly simple but absolutely critical, is preparing and inspecting the crab pots. Two main types of traps are commonly used, with key differences. In the US, heavy square steel pots are favored for their sturdy design, built to withstand rough seas and depths of over 300 meters. Meanwhile, in Russia, many vessels use lighter round pots that are easier to stack and more suitable for shallow coastal waters. Each pot is equipped with a biodegradable escape panel and identification tag, then neatly stacked on deck, ready to be baited. The crew carefully selects fish like herring or cod, king crab's favorite meals, which must be rotten enough to attract them. Sometimes what they endure isn't seasickness, but learning to live with the overwhelming stench of rotting fish that clings to everything for weeks on end amid the icy seas. At the same time, the fishing vessels undergo thorough inspection and reinforcement, equipped with heavy-duty hydraulic winches capable of hauling up the traps from the deep. Everything must be ready to face the rough seas and the unforgiving cold. Once everything is ready, the massive fishing vessels charge through the waves into the open sea. The fishermen are no longer just seafarers. They become fearless warriors, braving snowstorms, howling winds, and waves as tall as buildings. It's a treasure hunt in the heart of the ocean, where courage, skill, and a bit of luck determine the success of the journey. The hunt officially begins once the vessel reaches the deep offshore waters, where king crabs gather in dense numbers. The timing of trap deployment is also a key to success, often carefully calculated and carried out at dawn or during low tide, when king crabs begin to move in search of food along the seafloor. Crew members work in perfect coordination to lift the massive traps, now packed with bait, and lower them into the ocean depths. Each drop is a gamble against the sea, a hopeful bet to haul in the most prized catch. Every trap is tethered to a buoy floating on the surface, allowing the crew to return and retrieve them after several hours, or sometimes days of waiting. But the ocean is never predictable. Some mornings, the traps come up overflowing with king crabs. Other times, they're disappointingly empty, forcing the crew to change course and continue the endless search across the vast, uncertain sea. After about 12 to 24 hours of waiting, the vessel returns to the drop zone to collect the first reward of their courage. At this point, breaking the ice is not only a necessary step to get the vessel running again, but also a matter of survival. Reducing weight, maintaining balance, and preventing the ship from capsizing in the freezing, open sea. Pulling up the traps is no easy task. These giant steel cages, now coated in mud and seaweed, can weigh over 540 kilograms when hoisted from the water. A hydraulic winch system is used to lift the traps onto the deck, but that's just the beginning of the crew's real workload. They must swiftly open the trap lids and dump the crabs onto sorting tables, all while waves crash relentlessly against the ship. The massive king crabs thrash wildly, and with claws sharp as knives, they can cause serious injuries if not handled with precision and care. Although the fishing season lasts only 2 to 4 weeks each year, fishermen work up to 20 hours a day, battling 80 kilometers per hour winds, 10-meter high waves, and temperatures that can drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius. Even so, the reward is well worth the risk. With revenues reaching hundreds of millions of dollars, a single season's pay can go up to $100,000. Are you ready to set sail and take on this job at least once in your life? Once the traps are hauled up and crabs are dumped onto the deck, the sorting process begins. A critical step that determines the value of the entire expedition. But not every crab qualifies. If the minimum legal size for harvesting lobsters is around 8.3 centimeters, then only mature male king crabs with a shell width of at least 16.5 centimeters meet the criteria for processing. Female crabs and undersized individuals are immediately returned to the sea, helping protect the marine population and ensure sustainable harvests in future seasons. The entire process must be carried out swiftly and accurately, as every passing second can affect the crab's quality. While the crew works tirelessly, the ship continues to sway in the rough sea, and even the slightest mistake could lead to injury or lost catch. Once selected, the qualified crabs are placed into aerated seawater tanks on board, keeping them alive and healthy all the way back to port. After days adrift in the open sea, the final haul of king crabs arrives at port, ready to be sent to modern processing facilities. Each trip can bring in several tons of crab, earning fishermen tens of thousands of dollars. But there are also times when they return empty-handed, while fuel, gear, and crew costs continue to burn through a small fortune. It's a brutal gamble at sea, where humans face off against nature, not just to make a living, but to preserve a piece of the ocean's soul. As soon as the boats dock, the king crabs are swiftly transported to the processing plant and placed into seawater tanks to maintain their freshness. Next, the crabs are transported to a processing facility for sorting, preliminary preparation, and packaging for domestic consumption or export. After meticulous sorting, the king crabs are pre-processed while still alive to preserve peak freshness. Depending on market demand, the final products are typically divided into three main categories: whole crabs, pre-picked crab meat, and crab legs. The flagship product, accounting for nearly 80% of total consumption due to their thick, easy-to-use meat. That's why leg processing requires both precision and skill. Experienced workers use specialized knives to separate the body, removing the shell and torso while preserving the legs and claws, the most valuable parts. A single miscut can rupture the delicate meat inside, compromising quality and causing significant loss. At some modern processing plants, the crab leg separation stage is fully automated using robotic systems, optimizing both speed and precision. Equipped with intelligent sensor software, robotic arms can handle thousands of pounds of crab per hour, ensuring high production efficiency while maintaining perfect quality for every leg. Once separated, the crab legs are thoroughly washed to remove any impurities before moving on to either cooking or rapid freezing. After cleaning, the crab legs are transferred into a steaming or boiling system, where the temperature is carefully maintained between 93 to 95 degrees Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes. This step is crucial to ensure the crab meat cooks evenly, retaining its natural sweetness and signature tender texture. If undercooked, the meat may remain bluish or raw. If overcooked, it becomes dry and loses its natural firmness. Immediately after cooking, the crab legs are transferred into chilled water tanks, maintained at around 0.5 degrees Celsius to halt the cooking process and bring the temperature down to safe levels before freezing. This rapid cooling stage is critical. If not done properly, the crab meat can lose its firmness and absorb excess salt, compromising both its flavor and texture. After pre-chilling, the crab legs are immersed in an ultra-cold brine solution, maintained at temperatures between 18 degrees Celsius and 16 degrees Celsius. This highly efficient rapid freezing method locks in the crab's natural tenderness and juiciness, while preventing the formation of large ice crystals, one of the main causes of tough, damaged meat. In the next step, the crab legs are dipped into a cold water bath to form a thin outer layer of ice, known as a glaze. This delicate coating acts as a natural protective barrier, preventing direct air exposure, reducing moisture loss, and locking in essential freshness. In the final stage, the king crab legs are vacuum sealed and carefully packed into insulated boxes, each weighing around 20 pounds, an optimal design for long-distance preservation and shipping. This seamless blend of traditional fishing methods and modern processing technology has elevated king crab beyond the realm of luxury food. Its journey from the frigid depths of the ocean to elegant dining tables is a vivid testament to human craftsmanship, dedication, and the relentless pursuit of culinary excellence shared across the globe. If Portugal is the sardine factory of the world, where shimmering silver shoals are harvested, processed, and exported to over 45 countries under renowned brands like Ramirez and Nuri, then the United States is the bottomless consumer machine, spending over $50 million annually to import sardines and integrate them into every corner of fast food culture, from convenient sandwich slices to refreshing, nutrient-packed salads. Compared to canned tuna, sardines are not only 30 to 50% cheaper, but they also offer a range of superior benefits. Higher omega-3 content, rich in calcium since the bones are edible, and a more ocean-friendly profile thanks to their sustainable harvesting practices. Sardines aren't just nutrient-rich, they once sparked an economic miracle in the heart of America. In 1903, as Monterey, California was drowning in a deep economic crisis, sardines arrived en masse like a wave of salvation. In a matter of years, this humble fish fueled a booming canning industry, created thousands of jobs, and transformed a fading seaside town into the sardine capital of the world. Every journey has its beginning. Join me as we set sail for the fishing grounds of the Atlantic Ocean, where the night sky bursts into light under powerful floodlamps, and specialized fleets kick off the sardine hunt, chasing a tiny fish that brings to life some of the most breathtaking dances beneath the sea. The sardine harvesting season stretches from late spring to early autumn, when coastal waters begin to warm and shimmering silver shoals gather in massive waves. Unlike tuna, which must be caught one by one on a line, or mackerel, which require traditional drift nets, sardines are harvested using a method as strange as it is spectacular: light trapping. At night, these specialized vessels switch on dozens of high-intensity lights, transforming the sea's surface into a stage lit by artificial suns. The glow triggers the sardines' predatory instincts, drawing them to the surface as if hypnotized. And by day, enormous purse seine nets lie in wait beneath the sun, ready to silently encircle the glistening silver shoals in an instant. No hooks, no chase, just perfect timing. Although sardines are small, they move in massive schools, sometimes weighing hundreds of tons, making their capture a task that requires advanced technology. On modern fishing vessels, radar and sonar systems are used to scan vast areas of ocean and accurately detect the movement of sardine schools swimming deep beneath the surface. Once the equipment identifies the distinctive flow of sardines, the captain swiftly maneuvers the vessel into position, while the crew gets ready to deploy a purse seine net. The net is cast around the school of fish, then drawn tight at the bottom with a cable, like cinching the mouth of a bag, trapping the entire school in an instant. After being hauled aboard, the sardines are quickly transferred into large ice bins or deep freeze holds at -20°C to 25°C to preserve their freshness throughout the long journey at sea. As soon as the vessel docks, the catch is sent through a grading machine to separate the fish by size. They are then packed into sealed, insulated containers with ice inside. These containers are immediately transported to canning factories, ready for the next stage in a fully closed-loop processing system. Upon arrival at the factory, the sardines are transferred into large brine tanks. Workers carefully sprinkle coarse salt over each layer of fish to ensure even absorption. The sardines are left to soak in the brine for 2 to 6 hours, which helps firm up the flesh, enhance the flavor, and preserve the natural taste of the sea. After brining, the fish are poured into large holding containers, from which they are conveyed onto an automated conveyor belt to begin the cleaning process. As the belt moves forward, high-pressure water jets, delivering up to 50 liters per minute, spray cold water directly onto the fish. This powerful stream thoroughly washes away any excess salt, sand, or impurities clinging to the fish, ensuring they are perfectly clean and ready for the next steps. Once cleaned, the sardines enter an automated sorting system, a critical stage often referred to as the strategic routing station of the entire processing line. Here, rotating discs with diameters ranging from 5 to 10 centimeters act like giant sieves, sorting the fish by size. Smaller ones gently drop to the lower conveyor for secondary processing, while larger ones continue along the main line, destined to become premium canned products. With a throughput of up to 5 tons per hour, this system not only ensures fast and accurate sorting, but also guarantees that each finished can of sardines meets the highest standards of uniformity and quality. Once the sorting stage is complete, each sardine seems to have found its rightful place, gliding smoothly along the conveyor belt toward the pre-processing area. Unlike tuna or salmon, with their large bodies and thick flesh, sardines are smaller, more delicate, and prone to damage if mishandled. Their fine bones, thin skin, and high natural oil content make them particularly susceptible to spoilage and flavor loss if not processed properly. That's why pre-processing is not just a preparatory step. It is the critical dividing line between a perfect can of sardines and a failed product. In the pre-processing zone, workers wearing thin gloves swiftly remove the heads and guts of each fish while inspecting them visually and by smell. Spoiled sardines typically give off a slightly sour or sharply fishy odor. Thanks to their experience and sharp senses, each worker can handle over 1,000 sardines per hour while maintaining the fish's intact appearance. After cleaning, the sardines are carefully arranged in stainless steel baskets, specially designed with small drainage holes to allow water to escape quickly without bruising the fish. Each sardine is placed neatly by hand to preserve its shape and freshness before moving on to the next stage. Once the baskets are full, an automated conveyor system carries them to the final rinsing area. Here, cold water sprays at high pressure form gentle streams that envelop each fish, washing away any remaining impurities while preserving their shiny skin and delicate structure. While manual pre-processing ensures precision and flexibility, in large-scale factories, technology takes the lead role. Automated cutting systems equipped with smart sensors can detect the size and position of each fish, trimming off unwanted parts in just seconds. As a result, these machines can process between 5,000 and 7,000 sardines per hour, significantly boosting overall production efficiency. After being thoroughly cleaned and neatly arranged, the gleaming sardines are placed into small tin cans on an automated conveyor belt by skilled workers. With swift and precise hands, they carefully position each fish to ensure uniform quantity and size in every can. Each worker can complete 30 to 40 cans per minute, maintaining a seamless and synchronized production line. In addition to manual canning, some modern factories are equipped with automated canning systems to increase productivity and ensure product consistency. These machines can place sardines into cans quickly and accurately, reducing processing time while maintaining quality. With the support of technology, the canning process becomes more efficient and ready for the next stages. To enhance flavor and create a distinctive touch for each product, workers add natural ingredients to every can. A few thin slices of carrot, a couple of bay leaves, or a hint of green peppercorns, all blending together to balance the rich taste of the fish with the fresh aroma of the spices. Once delicately garnished with these natural seasonings, each can is completed with the addition of water, an essential element to preserve flavor and texture during the cooking process. An automated filling machine gently pours 100 to 150 milliliters of filtered water into each can, ensuring the right moisture level for the upcoming steaming stage. Once the water and seasonings are properly balanced, the sardine cans enter the steaming stage, a crucial step that determines both quality and safety. Inside industrial steamers maintained at 230 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, the fish is fully sterilized, ensuring long-term preservation. As small, short-lived plankton feeders, sardines accumulate virtually no mercury. This allows the process to focus entirely on maximizing freshness and flavor, a rare advantage in the world of canned fish. As soon as the freshly steamed sardine cans come out of the oven, they are allowed to cool before continuing to the next stage. Once the temperature stabilizes, the cans pass through an automated oil filling system, where about 20 to 30 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil is poured into each can, evenly coating the fish to enhance flavor and ensure rich, natural taste. Thanks to their soft, edible bones after cooking, sardines are often packed whole to preserve their full flavor and appearance in the luscious layer of oil. However, for certain premium product lines, the bones are carefully removed after steaming to offer a smoother, more refined experience for the consumer. Finally, the sardine cans are transferred to an automated sealing system. Each lid is vacuum sealed, removing all air inside, helping to preserve the freshness and distinctive flavor of the fish over time. After sealing, the cans pass through a clean water bath at approximately 4 degrees Celsius. cold enough to wash off any remaining olive oil without affecting the can's integrity. This rinsing process lasts about 2 to 3 minutes. Once clean, workers gently dry each can with soft cloths to ensure they are spotless and oil-free. Next, the sardine cans enter a high-pressure steam sterilization chamber, where they are treated at temperatures up to 248 degrees Fahrenheit, around 120 degrees Celsius, for approximately 30 minutes. This step eliminates any remaining bacteria while preserving the fish's natural flavor. Finally, the cans move to the packaging line, where they are carefully packed into cardboard boxes, typically 24 cans per box, depending on can size. Once packed, the boxes are transferred to a cold storage facility maintained at around 32 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius, ensuring the sardines retain their freshness and flavor throughout storage. Leaving behind the cold steel lines and hurried rhythms of the factory, we enter a different world, the deep ocean, where sardines are no longer just a canned delicacy, but a vital link in a fierce dance of survival. Here, the water churns with relentless chases and waves surge with the dives of hungry predators. Though small, sardines set the tempo for the vast biological symphony unfolding offshore. Measuring just 15 to 20 centimeters in length, but forming schools of millions, sardines are the perfect prey of the sea. Rich in nutrients and easy to spot, they become targets for tuna, sharks, seabirds, seals, whales, and more. Their synchronized movements create massive live bait balls that draw predators from hundreds of kilometers away. For tireless hunters like sharks, sardines are among the most irresistible moving feasts the ocean has to offer. Did you know that this tiny crustacean has a heart located in its head instead of its chest like most other animals? Interestingly, they are born male, but after about 3 to 4 years living in freezing environments, they transform into females. Smarter than humans, right? When it comes to diet, marine shrimp are omnivores, true cleaners of the ocean floor. They feed on dead fish, small crabs, seaweed, and even mud and sand. This makes them an essential part of maintaining a clean and balanced marine ecosystem. Thanks to cold water conditions, they grow slowly, a process that gives them their sweet flavor and tender texture, making them a prized seafood worth over $60 billion globally each year. As much as 70% of the world's shrimp production is consumed in the United States, Japan, and Europe, in which white-legged shrimp reigns as the superstar of aquaculture due to its massive production, while red shrimp is treasured as a premium delicacy with staggering commercial value. Let's begin our journey in the icy seas of Northern Europe, where cutting-edge fishing technology meets the raw power of nature, and where the prized red shrimp begins its story. There are 5 key factors that determine the success or failure of a shrimp fishing haul. And one of them starts with a step that seems simple, yet plays a critical role: net preparation. Before setting out to sea, every mesh, knot, and mechanical component is carefully inspected. No detail is too small to overlook, because even a single tear could cause an entire haul of precious shrimp to slip away. Like they say, don't count your chickens before they hatch, especially when they're still swimming underwater. Once everything is ready, modern fishing vessels begin cutting through the waves, heading straight for the icy deep sea at the break of dawn. These giant ships, equipped with navigation radar, hydraulic cranes, and industrial freezing systems, leave the harbor one after another, carrying with them the hope of a plentiful shrimp season. Once out in the open sea, all that surrounds them is the vast, icy ocean, where the horizon melts into the water and sky and sea become one. In such an immense and endless space, how do fishermen manage to find the shrimp grounds? The answer lies in nature's subtle signals, like flocks of seabirds. Gulls, for example, often circle and dive repeatedly over areas teeming with small marine life, precisely where shrimp gather to feed. On board, fishermen rely on high-frequency sonar, GPS tracking, and bottom mapping sensors to scan vast swaths of ocean for signs of shrimp activity. Combining natural signs with modern technology, accurately identifying these fishing grounds becomes the second crucial factor in ensuring a bountiful harvest. Once the shrimp ground has been identified, the next crucial step is the captain's choice of the golden moment to cast the net, the third key factor in the fishing journey. The pulley system and winch drums operate continuously, slowly lowering the massive nets into the icy sea, reaching the shrimp's habitat, typically at depths of 150 to 400 meters, ready for the hunt. Another important and fascinating factor lies in the very design of the shrimp trawl net. This funnel-shaped net has a wide mouth near the seafloor that narrows at the back, held open by otter boards as the vessel moves, forming a giant trap that sweeps the ocean floor. Shrimp drawn into the net are gradually funneled toward its end, where there's no way out. That's exactly why, with a single well-timed cast, fishermen can haul in several tons of shrimp in just one pull. But it's not just about catching more, it's about catching responsibly. What makes these nets even more remarkable is that they're equipped with exclusion systems, such as slanted mesh panels, that allow unwanted species like sea turtles to escape naturally, making the fishing process more selective and environmentally friendly. Each trawl typically lasts from 3 to 6 hours, usually starting between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., the golden window when shrimp are most active near the ocean floor. The exact duration depends on sea conditions and shrimp density in the area. Overhead, seagulls continue to circle the waves, as if sensing a grand feast is about to begin. Weather, the final and often unpredictable factor, plays its part long before the net resurfaces. Every time the net is cast into the deep is a real gamble. It could mean wasting ice, burning fuel, and coming up empty-handed. But this time, the fishermen hit the jackpot. After hours of trawling through the icy waters, the net begins to rise, bloated and unusually heavy. Fresh shrimp, with their signature reddish-orange hue, start peeking through the green mesh like a signal of a successful catch. This job is far from easy, but would you be willing to give it a try, even just once? On deck, the crew works in sync, energetically hauling in the net. The heavy shrimp-filled mesh is lifted from the sea, and each haul can bring in anywhere from several hundred to over 1,000 kilograms of shrimp. Once on deck, the fishermen carefully adjust the net opening and unlock the latch, allowing streams of reddish-pink shrimp to pour out in a rush, tumbling into a large intake funnel at the center of the boat. This marks the beginning of the pre-processing journey, carried out right in the middle of the ocean. From the funnel, the shrimp slide down a long conveyor belt running along the vessel. Workers are stationed on both sides of the belt to perform a preliminary manual inspection. They quickly remove large debris, marine trash, or any bycatch to ensure only clean shrimp move forward into the next stage of processing. After inspection, the shrimp enter a chilled seawater bath maintained at around 0 to -2 degrees Celsius. This step plays a crucial role in temporarily lowering the shrimp's temperature, slowing natural decomposition, and preserving freshness before final cleaning. The cold water also prevents the shrimp from sticking together, making the next stages smoother. Leaving the bath, the shrimp are moved onto a multi-layered conveyor system. This system regulates flow and speed while managing large volumes efficiently. From there, the shrimp are funneled into a series of narrow rinse channels designed to separate out impurities. Lighter materials such as seaweed, small fish, and plastic bits are flushed aside into collection grooves, while the shrimp continue down the main channels. At this stage, these little guys are still not completely clean, so they undergo a thorough wash in vibrating troughs equipped with high-pressure cold water jets. The water used throughout the entire process is filtered seawater, not precious fresh water hauled all the way from land, as some might imagine. Despite the efficiency of this system, a final visual inspection by trained workers is still carried out to catch any remaining impurities or damaged shrimp, ensuring only the highest quality continue to the fascinating freezing stage. After cleaning, the shrimp enter a critical stage, freezing. The first method used is block freezing, a precise and efficient technique. The shrimp are carefully arranged into metal trays or molded plastic bags, then tightly compressed between two steel plates and inserted into a contact blast freezer at around 44 degrees Celsius. Within approximately 3 hours, the entire batch freezes into neat rectangular blocks, ideal for packaging and long-term storage. Once frozen, the shrimp blocks are packed into cartons or boxes. The entire batch is then consolidated, stacked on pallets, and either transferred to refrigerated cargo ships or delivered directly to onshore facilities. This contact freezing method is primarily used for export, preserving premium quality for international markets. For those who prefer their shrimp not sticking together like lifelong best friends, the IQF method is the golden solution. In this process, each shrimp is individually frozen using ultra-cold air at temperatures between -35 degrees Celsius and 45 degrees Celsius, preventing them from clumping, making portioning easier, and perfectly suited for retail or food service industries. After freezing, the shrimp are packed into large loose sacks or bags, instead of being tightly wrapped in paper or molded trays, like in the block freezing method. Meanwhile, another widely used method, immersion in crushed ice or chilled brine, serves as a short-term preservation solution before the shrimp are transported to onshore processing facilities. While this indirect freezing method isn't as fast or precise as contact freezing, it remains widely used due to its flexibility and significantly lower costs, often 3 to 5 times cheaper, making it ideal for small to medium-scale fishing operations and short-haul trips. After 1 to 2 grueling months battling the open sea, the shrimp vessels make their triumphant return to port, hauling in not just tons of catch, but the hard-earned glory of a successful season. At the bustling harbor, dozens of boats dock side by side, and thanks to preservation in ice-filled storage holds, the shrimp retain their pristine freshness. As soon as the ships dock, workers immediately begin unloading the shrimp trays from the chilled compartments. A specialized pulley system is already in place to lift the heavy trays from the ship's deck onto the shore. After being hoisted and gently lowered, each tray of shrimp is emptied into large transport bins. Soon after, forklifts move in to lift the bins and deliver them directly to the processing area for the next stage of their journey. The shrimp are poured directly onto the intake conveyor, marking the start of a fully enclosed processing line inside the factory. As they move steadily forward, the shrimp pass through a series of high-pressure cold water jets that wash away dirt, impurities, and small debris. Once cleaned, they continue onto an elevated conveyor for draining and preparation for the next stage. Next, the shrimp stream is divided into multiple lanes for precise size grading, a crucial step to ensure uniformity in packaging, cooking, and pricing. To make sure these shrimp don't get any funny ideas about returning to the ocean, they're gently steamed at 95 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes. It's a short, steamy goodbye that locks in their sweetness and ensures they're deliciously safe for dinner, not escape. After steaming, the shrimp move on to one of the most advanced and essential stages of the production line: automatic shelling. The shrimp are fed into rotating drum channels with soft brushes that gently remove the shells, while high-pressure water jets wash them away, leaving clean, intact shrimp behind. The automatic shelling system can process up to 2,000 to 3,000 shrimp per minute, 10 times faster than manual methods, while ensuring near-perfect uniformity and precision. The result is perfectly peeled shrimp with a clean pink-white appearance, moving steadily along the conveyor belt to the final inspection stage. To preserve freshness and prevent bacterial growth, the shrimp are then rapidly chilled using ultra-cold air for 2 to 4 minutes. Next, the shrimp are transferred onto a gently vibrating conveyor belt. This vibration evenly distributes the shrimp, prevents them from sticking together, and ensures uniform cooling across the entire surface of each shrimp. They then move on to the final sorting line, where trained workers manually inspect each shrimp, removing any that are damaged, undersized, or have off color, ensuring that only those meeting strict quality standards proceed to the next stage. After passing strict sorting, the qualified shrimp are sent to the automated packaging zone, the final step in the modern processing line. Each portion is packed into specialized plastic bags through a high-speed system, handling up to 80 bags per minute. But wild-caught shrimp, making up less than 40% of global production, has always been reserved for the premium market and can never meet the demands of 8 billion people. That's why the real game lies in the extraordinary world of shrimp farming across Asia, the largest supply source on the planet. Welcome to Thailand, Vietnam, and India, the beating heart of global shrimp farming, where hundreds of thousands of ponds ripple day and night. The journey of shrimp farming begins with the preparation of larvae, tiny, translucent creatures that resemble drops of water. Pale in color, soft-bodied, and crystal clear, they look nothing like the reddish-orange, hard-shelled shrimp harvested from cold ocean waters. After being nurtured in nursery tanks for about 10 to 20 days, the shrimp larvae are carefully packed into transport bags and delivered to specialized grow-out ponds using dedicated vehicles. Their diet consists mainly of protein-rich formulated pellets made from ingredients like soybean meal, fish meal, vitamins, and minerals, all designed to boost the shrimp's natural immunity and support healthy growth. Throughout the farming process, paddle wheels spin continuously, agitating the water's surface. This is the aeration system, which increases dissolved oxygen levels. The constant flow keeps the pond environment well ventilated, creating ideal conditions for healthy shrimp growth. Compared to wild-caught shrimp, which pose no concern for antibiotics, the biggest challenge of farmed shrimp lies in environmental pollution, from antibiotic overuse and waste buildup to the risk of emitting 5 to 10 times more CO2 than cattle farming if mangrove forests are cleared. After about 3 to 4 months, the shrimp reach full maturity, displaying shiny blue-gray shells, firm bodies, straight backs, and long whiskers, ready for harvest. Farmers step into the ponds and cast massive nets that cover the entire water surface. Working in sync, the team gradually tightens the nets, herding the shrimp into the center. The mature shrimp leap and shimmer under the sunlight as they are surrounded, a lively, energetic scene, bursting with life. These shrimp are still wriggling as they're pulled from the water. If given the choice, would you rather enjoy the taste of shrimp freshly harvested just hours ago, or one that's been frozen and drifting at sea for months? After harvesting, the shrimp are quickly transported to a nearby processing facility to ensure maximum freshness. Upon arrival, they are fed into an automatic washing system that uses cold, clean water to remove mud and impurities. From there, the shrimp continue their journey along a conveyor belt to the main processing area. On both sides of the belt, skilled workers or specialized tools are used to carefully peel each shrimp. Gradually, the peeled shrimp, plump, firm, and pinkish white, emerge, ready for the next steps. The peeled shrimp are then transferred to the battering station, where they are dipped in a thick, wet batter and coated in breadcrumbs to create a crispy outer layer. Next, workers neatly arrange the shrimp on trays, which are moved into deep fryers filled with hot oil. As they cook, the shrimp turn a beautiful golden color, developing a crispy shell and a delicious aroma. Once fried, they pass through a conveyor system that drains excess oil. Finally, the shrimp are carefully packed into individual trays and placed into sealed boxes, ready for safe transport. Each box is then loaded onto refrigerated trucks, ready to begin their journey to supermarkets and restaurants around the world. Imagine standing among thousands of coconut palms swaying in the wind, and green coconuts dangle above like tropical gems. Welcome to Indonesia, the kingdom of coconuts, producing nearly 30% of the world's supply and serving as the quiet capital of a $20 billion global industry. Across the Pacific, the coconut craze is quietly spreading. In the US, a market importing over $500 million worth of coconuts annually. This humble fruit is becoming a symbol of healthy living, from detox drinks and skincare oils to biodegradable packaging. But don't let its rustic appearance fool you. Compared to mangoes, a vitamin-rich fruit primarily known for its sugar, coconuts stand out with their ability to replenish electrolytes, provide healthy fats, and support immunity in a natural and sustainable way. And while coconuts may seem like the essence of tropical chill, they're not entirely harmless. Each year, around 150 people are injured by falling coconuts, more than by shark attacks and lightning strikes combined. Under the blazing sun of early April, as the dry season arrives with its golden hue, coconut groves across Indonesia come alive, marking the beginning of the busiest harvest of the year. Coconuts are notoriously stubborn fruits, growing in heavy clusters high atop trees that can reach 20 to 25 meters, making them especially difficult to collect. Traditionally, harvesters climb trees barehanded to cut down the clusters directly. However, this method is extremely risky and unsuitable for large-scale farms. To reduce the dangers of climbing, many plantations now use long poles fitted with blades to cut coconuts from the ground. But when clusters fall freely from such great heights, the fruits often crack upon impact, leading to waste and reduced quality. Today, resourceful farmers have found an effective solution that ensures safety while minimizing harvest losses. They dig shallow irrigation channels between rows of coconut trees so that when the heavy clusters are cut, the coconuts no longer fall freely onto the ground, but instead land gently in the water below. The water acts like a natural cushion, absorbing the impact from heights of several meters. A single 50-meter-long channel can safely catch up to 2,000 coconuts per day, significantly reducing cracking rates, a common issue that previously caused up to a 30% drop in product value during harvest seasons. Afterward, the coconuts are collected by farmers and tied together into long rows using sturdy ropes. They float on the water, neatly aligned like a string of drifting buoys. This method allows hundreds of coconuts to be moved at once without the need for boats, saving significant time and effort during the harvest. Once collection is complete, the coconuts are loaded onto specialized trucks using a combination of manual labor and inclined conveyor belts. Depending on the terrain, farmers may also use pulley systems or hydraulic lifts to speed up the loading process. The coconuts are then arranged in horizontal layers and secured with straps or mesh nets to minimize impact during long-distance transport. From there, the convoy travels along rugged red dirt roads, weaving through rustling coconut groves and crossing wide rivers, heading straight to modern processing facilities, where the transformation journey of each coconut officially begins.